The Missouri Southern women finished the 2021-22 season with a record of 24-7, capturing a share of the MIAA regular season title and advancing to the NCAA Central Region Tournament. Ronnie is in his 6th season leading the Lions and his 10th overall with the program. Missouri Southern men went 14-15 during the 2021-22 season. This is Sam McMahon's first season as head coach and returned this offseason, beginning his 7th season overall, returning to Missouri Southern. So I'll ask each of you, Ronnie, if you would start as a preview of this season and just an overview of your team and what to expect this year.
Well, first off, I want to thank the MIAA and Mr. Racy for the experience up here. I think it's awesome that we're able to do this. I don't know how many other Division II conferences are able to come to one place and do a press conference like this, so it's awesome. To our team, had a great year last year. It was a season that in the history of Missouri Southern was one of the best, and it was one of those where we were 7-5 coming in after the Christmas break, making the Northwest Missouri Western trip. Had 3 home games, won 3 games there, and then went on the road and won 2 big games, and our kids just kind of figured out, hey, we can be pretty good. So we just continued to roll. We had a lot of confidence. Our kids continue to grow and get better on both sides of the ball, both offensively and defensively. And they played so well together, sharing the basketball, and really did a great job the rest of the year to help us win the conference, help tie for the conference championship, and then have a good run in the postseason. So, and we're excited about this year. We turned most of the kids. Brooke Stauffer was a starter for us all year long, graduated, and actually now she's coaching at Webb City Junior High. So she's getting that experience as well, learning to be a coach and teacher. So, but again, most of the kids coming back. We got a good nucleus coming back, 4 of our 5 starters, and we probably, with Amaya Johns coming off the bench as our 6th man, could start very easily for us and could have started all last year and probably for several teams in our league. But she did a great job of understanding her role and coming off the bench and be able to give us that scoring. And, you know, who knows what happens this year. I think we got a talented group. I think we have more talent than we had a year ago. Now, what does that mean according to wins and losses? That's yet to be seen. Our preseason's been good. We're excited. We get the opportunity to come to Kansas City on the first weekend in November and play 2 great teams in Lubbock Christian and Minnesota Duluth to start the year off. So we're extremely excited about that. Of course, I know the MIAA is going to put on a great showing again for our preseason tournament. So we're just excited. We get to start practice on Saturday. Our kids are excited. They're ready to go.
Very good. Thank you.
As you can see, I'm a first-year head coach because I came in a suit. My tie's over there, so I kind of negated that before I walked up here. But just want to thank Mike Racy and the MIAA. This is a tremendous event. I've been at all levels, it seems like, and this is really, really high level. So thank you so much. As far as our team goes, we got 10 returners. We got 3 returning starters back. And those guys are led by Avery Taggart. I know him, in my opinion, I think he's one of the best players in the league. I know I'm biased, but he's been great for us. He's got a great feel for the game, can really pass, can really shoot. He came on strong last year, and he's going to be a big-time leader for us. And then we also got Christian Bundy, who's sitting over there. He's been here, I think, his 20th year, it seems like. But he's a tremendous leader for us. I don't know what the stats are for fouls, but I know he probably leads the MIAA in fouls per minute. But he's averaged about 10 points a game, 5 rebounds, and he's just a big-time player for us. He's slimmed down a little bit, so he's moving well, and we'd like to see him not only at the 5 but at the 4 this year. And then we got a lot of others returning. Winston Desau, he averaged around 12 points a game. He'll be good for us. And Lawson Jenkins, who's a big-time shooter off the bench. He's a big-time shooter, big-time scorer. So we got a good core. We're bringing in 3 new guys who are all transfers, 2 from SEMO, where my previous stop was. One was a point guard, Parker Long, who's a ultra competitor. Then a 6'10" big guy named Sam Thompson, who's super talented. So we're excited about them. And then we got Vincent Sigmund from Wisconsin Parkside, who's another transfer. So these guys are ultra competitive. They really bring it every day in practice. It gets a little chippy, but it's a healthy chippiness. So we're excited to see what this year has to offer.
Healthy chippiness. I like that. Any questions?
First one for Coach Wrestler, Chaz Wright, KOD, and KSN and Joplin. You're bringing back 9 players from last year's team. Just how big of an impact does that play when it comes to them playing a leadership on the new girls coming in and just being able to set the program going forward?
Oh, I think it's huge. Like we talked about before, we had 4 starters returning, and like I said, in the 5th one, basically, MIAA Johns. So those kids understand how difficult our league is. I think there's been coaches talk about it all the time. MIAA is one of the best conferences in the country from top to bottom, and I think that's where we separate from a lot of other leagues in our depth in our league, because you just take us for example. We were preseason 9th last year. We ended up tying for the conference championship. So it just takes 1 or 2 kids that can really change some things, and 1 or 2 wins that can set you going forward. But they've done a great job. They're in the gym constantly. We got 14 kids on our roster, and at least 10 of them are constantly in the gym getting extra shots up. They understand how hard they have to work to be successful, and that's been instilled by our kids, and they do it every day. So that's been very exciting on that aspect, besides just coming in for our workouts every day. So I think it's huge. It's showing our freshmen and our newcomers what it takes to be successful at Missouri Southern in our league, because it can't be just when a scheduled time to practice. You got to get shots up. You got to work on your game outside of your workouts constantly to continue to get better. And I think our kids really over the summer and in our preseason, a lot of them have got better because of their work ethic. And I look forward to the upcoming year. The big thing will be how well we're going to bond together on the floor and how well we're going to play together. But our returning kids have done a great job of leading our younger kids in our transfers, of making them understand how hard it is to be able to be successful in this league.
And then obviously a 24-7 record last year. Bringing all that talent back from last year, just are the expectations high, or what's kind of been the energy or the feeling with the team heading into this season?
Well, I think when you have that many kids returning, you get the bulk of your scoring coming back, the bulk of your players returning, the expectations are high, as they should be. I think as a coach, if your expectations aren't high with a group that you got returning, you shouldn't be coaching. Your mindset is you want to be in the top in the conference, you want to make the NCAA tournament, you want to make a great run, and ultimately, the neat thing about this year for the women's basketball, the national championship game is going to be in Dallas at the Final Four at the women's. So, that's the ultimate goal, I think, for a lot of teams in our league, to be in Dallas when it comes March.
And then obviously Lacey coming into her sophomore year. Where have you seen the biggest transition from her in the offseason from freshman to sophomore year?
I just think her composure, her ability to, her work ethic is unbelievable. Just her mindset of how hard she works and how much she studies the game and learns. And Coach Porter and Coach Fritz, our 2 assistants, do a great job of talking the game and making sure our kids understand the game. And the thing I like about Lacey is she's a quick learner. Coach Porter can walk her through something in the morning, in the afternoon she's working on it in practice. So that just her ability to comprehend different things, different aspects, both offensively and defensively, she just continued to get better. And to me, I think that's a great thing. If we can have the kid that was player of the year in our league that continues to get better, we got a good chance to be successful.
And then for Coach McMahon, obviously coming into your first season as head coach, what's been the biggest transition from being an assistant last year to now being at the head of the program?
Well, I think as assistant coach, you have a different relationship with the players. I would say you're not as close, but what we do here at Missouri Southern, we help our players become the best version of themselves. So we're not just in the X's and O's, we're in the heart and souls, and we work on that every single day. It's about getting them better as individuals. And as far to answer your question, it's just you don't get that personal, everyday relationship like you do as an assistant. So that is different, but we're still getting these guys better each and every day.
And then obviously in the offseason, just how has been that building relationship and building chemistry with your players, even though you've been with the program for a little while now?
Yeah, I recruited most of those guys. My previous stint here when I was here for 6 years. So a lot of those guys I've already had previous relationships with. So it didn't take much to hit the ground running. And they all had confidence in me by staying, because in this culture of transfers and everybody leaving when there's a new coaching change, these guys stayed. And that's a testament to their character. And so it has been a pretty smooth ride for me.
And then obviously having your brother as an assistant coach, just kind of touch on how awesome that is.
Yeah, it is awesome. We butt heads sometimes, but I know he's got my best interests at heart. He's got this best interest of Missouri Southern at heart. You know, it's not just my program, it's our program. And he really buys into that. He's tremendous with player development, tremendous leader, and he's going to be a big-time head coach one day, along with my other assistant, Jason Owens, who's a tremendous coach. I've gotten really lucky with our staff. One would say, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And I think I'm in the right room right now. I can hear you. Well, I've seen a lot of competitiveness. These guys get after it, and it's refreshing to see. And it's not just every other practice; it's every practice they get after it. Do I got to tame them back a little bit? Absolutely, but I think that's healthy. And these guys really are tremendous competitors and coachable and hungry to get better.
Coach McMahon, Alex Amicky, UNK Antelope. Specifically, since you've been with the league for a few years and you've seen MIAA basketball, now that you're the head coach, are we going to see something a little bit different out of Missouri Southern, or are we going to see a completely new style of offense here?
It won't be completely new. I don't know how to word this, but Coach Boshi, who I worked for 6 years, who was a tremendous mentor for me, he established a culture and a style of play that I believe in. Now, will I tweak it? Absolutely. I'll put my own spin on it. But so it's not like we're coming in to an empty program. These guys know how to play. They know how to compete. And so I'll have play a little bit differently. We'll still play fast, but we'll be toughened together. I can guarantee you that. And also, I know how absolutely hard this league is, and with great coaches and great players. So we're excited just to compete against those guys. I just can't wait.
John Dykstra with the Maryville Forum. Coach Russell, you mentioned you mentioned being picked ninth last year in the league. That's obviously not the case this year. How do you handle those expectations, and is that something you have to talk about with the team or anything like that?
You know, we haven't really talked. Of course, it just came out today. We kind of figured we'd be somewhere in the top, three as far as a preseason poll. But, the kids themselves, they got high expectations of themselves. So I don't think there's going to have to be a lot of conversation because their work ethic is so good. I don't think there's things that we'll have to do different in the aspect of their mindset, because they expect to be successful. We got a lot of kids that not only on the basketball floor but in the classroom, extremely successful, and they expect high things from themselves. I got a lot of kids that when they think they got a bad grade on a test, they think they did terrible to get an 85. If I'd got an 85 when I was in college, I was happy, So, but they're just their expectation of themselves and what they think they can achieve this year. They talk amongst themselves. We talk a little bit about it, but we don't put a big emphasis on it because it's a day-to-day and it's one game to the next.
All right, as we wrap up our time here, giving you the opportunity that I've asked the other coaches, just something to wrap things up as far as what do you want MIAA fans across the conference, people watching on the MIAA network, to know about your team?
I think the big thing, is going to be our work ethic. We showed that last year on the defensive side and, doing things and sharing the basketball. they're a fun team to watch. They compete hard. We got a lot of successful parts to our program that continue to grow. They're tremendous young ladies. Again, academically, they do a great job. Community service-wise, they're out in the community doing a lot of different things. We did last Thursday was homecoming weekend. Last Thursday we did what we called Chalk the Town. Our men's and women's basketball programs went out in the community and put down stencils of the lion paw and sprayed chalk throughout the town. So just doing different things like that. We done the at the elementary schools early morning stuff where they go out and high five the kids, and it's great. I go out there with them, and it's great for me to see the smiles in those little kids as they walk through and see these young ladies as role models to what they could potentially become and attain to. So they're just tremendous young ladies on and off the floor.
I love that. Thank you.
I think our players are good players, but they're even better people, and I hope people realize that. And we're not just here to make them better basketball players. We're here to make them better men. And these guys really have embodied that, and they're improving each and every day. And as far as on the court goes, we're going to be toughened together, and we're going to play with a lot of joy. I think a lot of times people take this game too serious. We're playing a game, and it's not fun for them. So we want them to play with joy and just play together, because this is we're all a part of something bigger than ourselves, and these guys understand that.
Thank you. Sam McMahon, as well as Ronnie Russell, thank you so much. Missouri Southern off the clock, and we're getting ready for a break. Thank you very much.
Thank you.